So today I'd like to talk about what I've found to be a reliable technique in the pursuit of lucid dreaming, and that is the use of the tactile sense to enter or re-enter a dream. So basically I discovered this in the trial and error process of lucid dreaming. Like many people, I often wake up soon after becoming lucid from excitement or whatever. So one time I woke up from a dream where there had been a table in front of me. Having lost the visual sense, starting to wake up, I found myself reaching out with invisible dream hands, and I felt the surface of the table still there. I found that the tactile feeling of the tabletop was still there, and gradually, after a moment, the picture came back, and and eventually I found myself fully immersed in the dream again. So this led to the realization that the tactile sense lingers for a moment after the visual sense, and other senses of the dream have faded. I found myself able to repeat this technique and rescue or prolong lucid dreams that I otherwise would have awakened from. Soon I had an experience where, awakening from a lucid dream, I had not only lost the visual sense, but had become fully conscious of lying in bed. I had fully awakened. I remembered that in my dream a moment ago, I had been standing near a wall. So I closed my eyes again and reached out with imagined dreaming hands and touched what was at this point an imaginary wall. After a moment, I really started to feel that wall. A moment later, I could see it, and I was back in the dream. So lately, I've been going to bed early to get a good night's rest and to wake up early. And I use this time in between starting to wake up and the time that I have to get up in the morning to play with visualizing and touching things. So what I will do is try to use cues from hypnopompia, which usually comes easily in that state in the morning. If not, I can, in my mind, choose an arbitrary object, and then with my eyes closed, in a state of relaxation, reach out with my dream hands and try to feel the object. And I find that this always leads to a dream, not necessarily a lucid dream. I think it depends. It depends how you handle it in the moment, but it's easier to go go into a lucid dream if you've just come out of a lucid dream. But also often what happens is, I start to feel something, an object, and then I start to see it, and at some point along the way, my lucidity is lost, and I find myself in an ordinary dream. So that can happen too. Another thing I've been playing with is um, reaching for the bedposts, which are the bedposts on my bed are kind of just out of my arm's reach, and so with my eyes closed, I visualize um, reaching for the bedpost and pulling myself towards it. And I haven't had a lot of experience with like the astral projection kind of sensations of, coming out of my body and floating around my room, that kind of thing. But it's interesting with this particular exercise of grabbing the bedposts with my dream hands and pulling myself towards it, actually creates a feeling of separating from my body, which has been interesting. Generally, what I find interesting about this is that hypnagogia and hypnopompia are usually associated or described as images and sounds. So I find it interesting that how useful the tactile sense is in entering or re-entering dreaming. And I have to wonder about the universality or how common this kind of experience is. So I'm putting it out there. If anyone's experienced this, if anyone wants to experiment with this, um, I'm leaving it in your hands, in your dream hands.